we are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that. Absolutely fascinating. That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
We just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative. You dare dictate the same old, every single day, without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Stallone.
Hi everyone, it's me again. Yes, it's me again. But this is a different kind of stream. Like frozen there. This is a different kind of stream. This is what's going on in the world today. And I want you to tell me, do you think, I've always said this for a long time now, we're on the precipice of a nuclear war. We're on the precipice of a nuclear war. And I want you to tell me, do you think we're close? I'll give you my reasons a little later on. Why we are. Just say hello to these lovely people here. Myra Page. Hi everyone, I'm Frank. How are you, Myra? Hope you're well. I'm freezing, aren't I? I'm freezing on my own screen here. But at least you can hear me. That's the main thing. And Will P, your little mate. Evening, Myra and all. Hi there, Frank. Hope you're well, my friend. It's been great, seeing that you're here, Myra's here, Callum as well. Callum, even Myra's letting on to Will. That's lovely, that. Callum. Happy pre-match day. Can't get away from football. But anyway, we are tonight. Well, this show, are you coming on, Sean, about with me? It's been like that for years, says Will, but the threat comes and goes. It has been like that, going back to 1962 during the Cold War when Khrushchev sent over those missiles to Cuba. But now what you've got is not just missiles, missile crisis. You've actually got battleships and submarines in the Caribbean, in Cuba, docked in Cuba. You see what I mean? You've got to go to what's being said and what's going on in America as well. And what's going on in America? Oh, Sean. The link won't work. I'll try again. Okay, Sean. Okay. I don't know what's wrong, you see. Whether my Wi-Fi needed a boost, because I seem to be freezing, if you know what I mean. Yeah, look, I'm froze there, see. Well, you couldn't see it, but I could see. So my opinion is this. America can stop everything. all these wars, but they don't want to, because you've got the deep state, you've got the neocons, and these companies, these manufacturers who make all these weapons, and the weapons of mass destruction, to be honest. Raytheon, for example. I'm going to ask you, you are a bit jumpy tonight, Frank, says Will. I'm going to ask you, I'll have to reboot this thing. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it takes about 5 minutes, so give me 5 minutes, please. I will be back. Yusuf says, are you a fan of Jenrick? No. No. That same man, Yusuf, hates this city of ours. Hates it. No fan. I'm no fan of any Tory, by the way. I'm no fan of any Labour anyway, if I put that bluntly. When I was 18 and I had my first vote, I voted. This year, the election, it's the first time in my entire life I didn't vote. And Will says, frame freezes for a second. Tony. Hey, it's Tony. Down there, Frank. 2 pints. Him and his lovely wife, Jan, came down to see me today. And he brought me mince pies. Every year, mince pies. Every year. But while he did bring me mince pies, but he also he promised me in the year, he said, I'm going to get you a birthday cake. I said, oh, no, you're all right. And he brought it today. These are people, proper people, lovely people like every one of you on chat, and this fella here. I might have to, I don't think I'll bring him up. He's too cheeky. He's a good man, actually. Shano.
Did someone mention mince pies?
No, do you know, it was a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
I said, no, they said, no, it's only today, brought them as well. A couple of years ago, I mentioned mince pies. I said, it was coming up to Christmas. And I said, Joe, what? I said, I love Christmas, And you're saying, well, why do you like Christmas? Was it because of the festivities? I said, no, because of mince pies. I've always loved mince pies. And honestly, just before the Christmas, there was a knock on my door, and it was Tony, LFC.
Oh, fair play, Tony, LFC.
And he just went, yeah, there for you. Big tray of them. I had to freeze some. There was loads. Sitting on my own eating these mince pies. And he's brought me loads again today, but with a massive cake, birthday cake.
Well, I'm here eating stuff from trick-or-treating there yesterday with my cousin's kid. So that's what I'm doing.
Listen, what I'm going to do, I'll have to phone Jason as well, the producer. I'm going to reboot this because I'm freezing all the time. And as Will P said, your frame's freezing. See, frame freezing for a second. And that could go on all night, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Am I freezing?
I done that once on a live program. They said, "Will you appear?" I said, "Yes, sure." So anyway, I appeared, and I went like that. I was just like this because I've just froze, and I went like that.
You see, we don't know. They don't know whether we're messing or we're pretending to freeze.
Yeah, but they were like, "Frank's froze. What are we going to do?" Myra says, "Frank, to answer your question, are we on the precipice of war? It depends on who wins." I'm going to talk about that, Myra. I'm going to talk about that. Please believe me. Please believe me. And Callum says, "Trick or treat, how about a Scottish handshake?" Yes.
I'm a little bit worried about a Scottish handshake. What's a Scottish handshake?
It's like, never mind. Callum will let you know. What I'm going, honestly, Callum, I'll have to. No frame freezing on my side, says Myra. But it's on my side, Myra. I've just frozen.
Yeah.
It's on my
freezing.
side. And what'll happen, I'll just go all of a sudden. So I'll
Like
have
there.
to. So bear with me, please, people. Yeah,
Frank
sure.
looked like he was in goal there. Oh, it's a headbutt. Okay.
Scottish handshake.
I don't want a Scottish handshake, thanks. A handshake would be grand, not a headbutt.
Look, I'm going to do me a favour. Just give your background about what's going on, how you feel. It's while I phone Jason up. Is that okay?
Yeah.
John, please, just...
So you want me to give an outline of how I feel about the world in general or about my country?
Yeah. No. About the Wales in general. And about,
okay.
I could come in with you.
Yeah.
Only while I phone Jason, because you know that I've lectured about it.
Yeah.
Going back to 1566. So you just talk about your background, how you feel as well about what's going on today. How dangerous it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's a fully loaded question. With plenty of how I feel about the world today. It's very dark and gloomy, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of extremism and everywhere. I think the truth used to be mainstream and now it's on the fringe. And I think you have to kind of sift through all the bull and codsology, to get to the truth. And any mainstream channel or broadcaster tends to be biased towards a certain side. And it's very, very hard to get the truth out there. That's my view on world affairs and on current affairs. I would have a difference of view in terms of Trump and Kamala Harris. I'm not really sure who's worse than the other. I think the Americans for a long, long time have been, they've really put out two really, really bad candidates for the Americans to pick. I've kind of looked at American politics. I'm very disheartened by their views on Israel and Palestine, their views on the gun laws, where we're seeing innocent children and people getting shot and killed. In my own country, I don't think I have ever seen my country as bad as it is now. It's dreadful. It was very rare back in maybe 10, 15 years ago that you'd see homeless people sleeping on shop fronts now. Every shop front, everywhere where there's a little bit of shelter from the cold, or out in the street, there's someone homeless. And it's very upsetting. And I'm more disheartened with politics in my country than I am in any other country. So that's my view on it, guys. I don't know what anyone else thinks about it. Will P says, I think that the biggest turn was 9/11. Then also when Trump first came in, as he just seems to do what he wants. Yeah, I think he was. I think there's certain things that I can see that he like that he's good in, and then there's a lot of things that I see that he's bad in. I think for him to have the nuclear codes, it's dangerous. But yeah, it's very, very dangerous. Am I freezing, guys, or can you hear me? Frank is back now to censor me. He's coming back now any minute now to say.
How do you know?
It's the Sean show now, Frank. You've been demoted.
It's been the freezing show. Well, listen, thanks for that. You know, giving out. I've spoken to Jay, and it's not going to be long. What I've got to do, he's told me what to do, and it won't be long. He's sitting there waiting now, so I'm just going to reboot this thing. He's told me exactly what to do, so it shouldn't be long. I'm not shutting it all down. Anyway, just bear with me. Is that all right, John? Thank you.
That's grand. I'm taking over the show now. It's now the Sean show. You can subscribe to myself. You know, and I'll it is the Sean show. It's about time I had a show of my own. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, in Ireland, it's gotten really, really bad. Homelessness is really, really bad. Housing crisis is dreadful. There's a lot of vulture funds and cuckoo funds that are taking over housing estates and are charging mental money. All right, Will P, how are you? Welcome to the Sean Show. Sponsored by Frank Carlyle and JK. Appreciate that. Send your mince pies to me. But I think obviously a massive effect in the whole world is what goes on in America, and that's why we always have to keep an eye out on it. You know. I'm just trying to read down through some of the comments here. I'm not getting many comments. It's like Will P is just saying hello and smiley face or laughing face. I'm eating Skittles here. But I've noticed over the last maybe 10, 15 years that there's like extreme left are becoming more and more popular. And you get that in countries like Poland and Hungary, in America even. It's crazy. I really feel I'm unprepared for this show, to be honest with you. I came on as a guest, and Frank is after leaving me here. What's people's views on what's going on nowadays? Are you siding with Trump? Are you siding with Camilla? I shouldn't be really munching, should I, when I'm talking? Will P says, everyone seems to be on the edge all the time. It's not good if all these world leaders are all hovering over a big red button. You can call it the Shano Show, absolutely. You'll find me on AKM LFC and Frank Carlyle Show, sometimes Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't trust any of them either. I really don't. And I especially don't trust Camilla when she goes on about Gaza, but she goes on about the hostages. Israel or the IDF have bombed the crap out of those hostages. It was never about those hostages. It was about another reason or excuse to go back and carpet bomb and finish off the job and completely wipe Palestine or the Palestinians off the face of the earth. That's what it is. And now what they're trying to do is, this greater Israel where they're trying to claim more land. That's what they're doing. Well, I mean, there used to be people that looked up to Putin and how he dealt with big corporations that took the mickey out of, and treated people like practice slave labor. I remember looking at a video where he dissolved the company and got all the directors to sign it. And now Putin is, enemy number one. But I remember watching a thing, the great actor Paul Newman going on about Israel and Russia, and Israel had basically blown a airplane out of the sky because it was invading Israel's space, and there was all talks about it. There was no condemnation of Israel and their actions. And then when Russia did the exact same thing, everyone was against it. Well, George W. Bush, as far as I'm concerned, was a war criminal for an illegal war in Iraq. I mean, can you honestly say that Iraq is in a better position or a better place, without the likes of Saddam Hussein? I mean, some would say that it's a lot worse now. But then again, all these presidents are all well and good. Congress is what kind of stops them from making a lot of decisions. If you have, I don't think that there's a democracy in America. I really don't. Of course they do. They would invade a chippy if it was oily and greasy. They'd invade that. And I think if there's going to be war crimes, if Israel are going to be up for war crimes, Benjamin Netanyahu, the IDF, and all the generals or whatever, then so must America and Great Britain. Because they have enabled this. All right, Cedric, how are you? Frank is dealing with some technical issues, and he's just thrown me in the deep end with you guys, so I can say what I like. So it's like open mic with Shano. What part of the country is everyone from? So I'd say William P. Definitely from the UK.
Hello.
And this is what I was saying about Frank. Oh, Jesus. There he is. Frank, you're very welcome to the Shano Show.
It's been brilliant, for you to ask me on, to be honest.
An absolute delight.
Do you know what? I see that you've got a hell of a lot of, listeners and in-lookers and whatever, which is fantastic, for what we're going to talk about.
Well, you know me. I'm the main attraction, Frank. I may not, look as good as you, but this is definitely not the moneymaker. But yeah, Frank brings them all to the yard. Oh, there's North Red. How are you, North Red?
Is that look, Myra? Does he ask where people came from?
Yeah, I was just kind of getting an idea of the demographic here because, like, if we're talking about, I suppose, what's going on in the world, I guess it's a good way of looking at what their view is and their country,
I just want to see. Okay, I'll go through these. Will P. Let's see this one here. And it's Myra. The only adult in the room is Putin. Let me go through these, please, Sean. Okay. The only adults in the room, I'll be answering these. Think Obama was the best they had in recent years. Got to answer that. I've got to answer. The US, says Will, just wanted to invade Iraq to get to the. I'm going to answer that as well. There's more to it than oil. Believe you me, there's more to it than oil. Big up Sean and chat says Cedric Lopez. What a name, Cedric Lopez. And Myra says hello. Cedric says hello back. Will P says he comes from Liverpool. Wonderful Myra says she's from South Africa. Cedric says Frank the myth, the legend. Like, can I answer this? And I'll tell you why we're in dangerous waters here. Because Obama is an oligarch. He's a deep state. He's a neocon. And he's a warmonger. Believe that, he's a warmonger. That's what he is. Also, you've got to understand, Will, that America, this has been planned for years, this thing. And it was to destabilize African countries, destabilize them, destabilize the whole, with the exception of Saudi Arabia, the whole of the Middle East. But now, with Saudi Arabia, being left alone by the Americans because they needed Saudi, Israel wants Saudi. They want Saudi. Okay? So, destabilize the Middle East because they wanted a big march, a big mass. And I'm talking about millions of migrants flooding into Europe. And they succeeded at doing that because Europe is in a terrible state. America tells everybody what to do. Everybody.
This is what I was saying, Frank, to the chat, like everything that happens over in America affects the rest of the world. And that's why we need to keep a close eye on what is happening over in America.
Right now,
forever.
Yeah,
but especially now.
But exactly right now, what's happening? 72 hours ago, let's say, Donald Trump, he said this. He said, "I'm going to stop all this. As soon as I'm inaugurated, I will stop these wars. I will stop Israel and I will stop Ukraine and Russia." How he'll do that is up to him. Now, here's the terrifying thing. The neocons, WEF as well, the World Economic Forum, the deep state, all this deep state, want to stop Trump becoming president. Now something came up. They were just filming, live, a Formula One thing. Then all of a sudden, what hit the screens was a result, I think Pennsylvania or somewhere, that Kamala Harris won that state by 52% to 47% or 48% over Donald Trump. Do you see what I mean? And now they've said this is going to be rigged because Donald Trump 4 years ago said that the results for him to become president for the second time was rigged. It was rigged. So now, if Donald Trump doesn't become president, we are in a bad way. We are in a bad way. And I just seen footage an hour ago of Kamala Harris at the border. She was supposed to be looking after the border, but all these illegals are coming in. And what's sickening, Sean and chat, is that these illegals are getting papers. Think about this: illegals. Let's say they came from, let's say they were Brazilian, all illegals coming into America. And he was given papers and saying if they can vote, how they've worked that out, they can vote, and if they vote for Kamala Harris, they can become, within 2 years, American citizens. And these are illegals. And she was there saying, that stupid woman, she was shouting to them, are you voting for me? And that stupid laugh. What she's got. Are you voting for me? I've only seen the footage.
Well, Frank, I'll give you a good one. So as far as I'm aware, because I've a few friends that are not of my nationality, and they're living over in Ireland for years and years and years. So I call them honorary Irish men and women. But anyway, they didn't have the right to vote straight away. They have to apply for citizenship and what have you. Over the last while, this has been doing the rounds where in Ireland, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil and the Greens were allowing immigrants that came in from the Ukraine to vote. Right? They literally just off or just in the country, maybe 5, 6 months now, a year or 2 years now, and they're allowed to vote. Why do you think that is?
It's the same as in America as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Look.
And I'm not saying like anyone that comes into the country and whatever comes in, makes a life for themselves, pays their taxes, whatever. Of course, all of them have the right to vote and what have you. But I think if you're in a country, maybe half a year, you're not going to have an idea of what suits your family or suits anyone else in the country, for that matter. So, I mean, it's basically paying for votes. It's bribing people for votes.
That's what I said about it's very similar to America.
Yeah.
It's very similar to America. It's like when Labour got in, they got in on a false ticket, to be honest, because in this country now, you can't say anything. You can't come out and say anything at all against the state. The freedom of speech is gone. There's a fella over here named Tommy Robinson. He's far. I don't like him, to be honest.
I don't like him either.
But whether you're far right or far left, and you come out and say something, and you're thrown in jail for it, and I mean prison, not just in a police cell, talking about trial and prison. Trial and prison. Is that right or is that wrong? Of course it's wrong.
I remember our Minister for Justice, who I think collected tokens at the back of a cereal box to get her position because she's absolutely disgraceful, Helen McEntee. She was asked to describe what far right is, because any Irish citizen that goes out and vote or goes out and protests against anything in this country is deemed as far right. All right, you ask anyone in our country, if they go out and protest, they are deemed by the national broadcaster RTE and by Helen McEntee and the government, they are called far right. And they brought in this hate speech law, and yet don't know, they haven't defined what is hate and what is not. And therefore, what I'm saying to you today could be deemed as hate. I could get a knock at the door and arrested.
Same as me. Us two here now.
Yeah.
We could be banned from YouTube, but this is not hate.
I don't have a hateful bone in my body. I mean, I'm from a country that, millions of people emigrated to the likes of the United States of America. They have, emigrated to England, emigrated to Canada, Australia, to all the corners of the world. So I would be stupid and ignorant and racist if I was to deprive anyone of the same thing, but the problem is that the narrative is completely twisted now. You cannot say anything without being accused of this or that or the other. It's gone from one extreme to the other.
Well, it has, because with the Edward Snowden came out and said it. One of the and the likes of Julian Assange are prime examples of freedom of speech. And when Snowden, said all these things about what's going on in America, he had to flee for his life. He had to flee. Julian Assange, he went to Belmarsh prison.
He was nearly killed.
Sorry?
He was nearly killed.
Oh, of course. Mike Pompeo, that prat. He wanted. He outwardly said on camera in a discussion with other people that he wanted to assassinate Julian Assange. He said it. He said it. And he also said, he was head of the CIA. He says, we lie, we steal, we do anything. What kind of a regime is the CIA? It's shocking what they do. It's shocking. Covert operations. There's Venezuela right now under sanctions, and they have been for a few years, by America. And they try to overturn Maduro on his election win. They're saying it was rigged. They're just saying it now about Georgia, saying it was rigged. And it's shocking what they're doing. They want to put puppet regimes in all around the place, everywhere, surrounding Russia.
Yeah, but I mean, sorry, Frank.
You've got the South China Seas. Think about it. South China Seas. What the hell is NATO doing there? NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, what are they doing in down there? What are they doing around Australasia? What are they doing there? What are they doing in the Pacific? It's pathetic what they're doing.
It's
America. NATO is America, by the way. It's just because they've got now some Finn who's the leader, the NATO, big general and all that. Take fucking notice of him. It's America. Forgot about that. I've got the
yeah. I'm blessing you right now. But I mean, the other thing is that the world is full of virtual signaling. It's like, what bandwagon should we jump on next so that we are deemed politically correct? And gone are the days where you actually research into something and actually find out the truth. Like, the war in the Ukraine, Zelensky is the next big hero, but did we know that Zelensky totally, denounced Palestine and was for Israel? I don't think he wasn't for like a one or a two-state solution. He was for a one-state. The other, I forgot what else I was going to say there, and I had something really important to say, and I can't remember. I always hate when that happens.
It'll come back to you.
It'll come back to me.
See, the likes of they had about Cuba, like there's been sanctions on them for decades. And they went to the UN resolution, to stop all this nonsense about these sanctions over Cuba. That's been going on for decades, as I said. And they all voted, in favor of stopping these sanctions, except two countries. One, America, and the other was Israel. Now, I'm going to tell you this now, and it's only through this. I know that the Jewish brethren, I do know this, that they own everything. They own everything. From this, what we're doing now, they own this. They own, well, when you're relaxing and you want to watch a film on the TV, they own the films that go on the cinema. They own Hollywood. They own the script writers. They own the media. Every single thing. They own the media. All the media. What these people read, I don't read it. They own that. So all the propaganda is coming out. Everything. We're watching before our eyes genocide going on. Genocide. And if you say who's committing this genocide, you become a racist.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like P. Diddy. Look at this P. Diddy fella. You've only got to say something about him. Like I'm white. I'm white. If I said anything against him, I'd be called a racist because the lad's black. But he's a sex trafficker. That's what he is. He's blackmailed people. He's filmed them while, during these parties. You know what kind of parties they were. So
I've not been to them, Frank.
It's ludicrous. Yeah. Because we're look, if you think that you're controlling your life and all these lovely people on the chat, you're not. It's all control. You had three great visionaries. You had the likes of Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and the best of the lot of them was Orwell, George Orwell. He was the best of the lot of them. And it's incredible. Even Shakespeare, oh, what a terrible era we live in. While I'm sorry about this. While idiots govern the blind, we're all blind to it. We have to stay blind because we're controlled. You can't have any. You've only got to look at Columbus University and the demonstration or the protests, not demonstrations, but the protests.
Mm-hmm.
And it was shocking what the police were doing to the students in Columbus over Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. Well, I think the West now is finished.
Do you think the political landscape around the world is completely changing? Because, like, and the reason why I'm asking this, like, from like my own country, Ireland, it's always been Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. Fianna Fáil, you know, were always the opposition to Fine Gael. You know, there were opposites. There couldn't be more opposite. And now they've joined forces over the last 7 or 8 years or whatever, or longer, to stay in power, but also to keep Sinn Féin out of power. And Sinn Féin, in the last general election, had more seats. They just didn't have enough MPs or TDs to form a government. And it was Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the Greens and Independents that formed a government. But now what I've noticed, and what's been out in the media is there's been a smear campaign against Sinn Féin, an online smear campaign, and they discovered that the online hate groups against this political party, Sinn Féin, is not actually from Ireland, but it's actually from America. It's actually from America. Yeah. So my question is, do you think the tide is turning where people are figuring it out themselves and the political landscape all over the place, all over the world is changing?
The only places I can see it changing is in, I'm talking about ordinary people here.
Yeah.
The leaders of Europe, because the leaders of Europe are cowards.
Mm-hmm.
They're all cowards. Under the American thumb and influence,
mm-hmm.
You do as we say, or else. You've only got to look at Nord Stream. That was blown up by the Americans. It was proved. It was blown up by them. And the Germans, now the industries in Germany is going to America, mm-hmm. because they can't afford the energy that they were getting from Russia. Mm-hmm. And it's shocking. This is what they wanted to do, and they succeeded. And it's shocking. And now the fear-mongering now is, a nuclear war. Look, mobilization throughout Europe. This is what's coming out now. Mobilization of, European kids, young lads. Join the army. It's shocking. It's fear-mongering because Russia, as they say, is not going to stop in Ukraine. We all know why they went into Ukraine. We all know about Zelensky being the most corrupt leader. Well, he's not even a leader. He's a defunct president. There's really no leader. The only leader in Ukraine is America. That's but they're pulling away now. They're more concentrating because of the deep state and the neocons on Iran, because the neocons always wanted a war with Iran for years. They want to obliterate Iran. And this is, I'll put the map on, if I might. Yeah, I'll just go through some of these.
Yeah.
Obama is just another American president war criminal. And he carries on by saying it doesn't matter who comes in, they will continue destabilizing of the destabilization of the world. Yes. The Red Jew. Hey, For lateness, I was using Frank's monkey alarm clock.
It's because I have his watch, Red Jew, the watch that he has up for the fantasy football. You can't use that. I'm using it now. It's on my
Do you know
wrist
what?
here.
I was going to wear it tonight, you know. I was going to
How
wear
are
it.
you?
Yeah, I was, but I never bothered. I can't get the bloody thing on, to be honest. Right, so far right is another label to shut off ordinary people down, says the Red Jew. Yes,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's as simple as that. And why did the man miss the funeral? He wasn't a mourning pair. Oh, the joke. The Red Jew. Truth is hate in today's world of brainwashed sheep.
Yeah.
That's truth. That's, and Callum says, Tommy Robinson's mouth is disgusting, but I agree. Getting locked up for that is, of course it is. Look, freedom of speech. You're not allowed to say something, anything. There was a fella in London, and he was preaching hate, but he wasn't. He was from a different background, and he was just preaching it for years until people got fed up. And anyway, I think he's back in jail now. This fella named Chowdhury in London. He was horrible, him, but he's in jail. But it was hate speech. But there's a big difference between voicing an opinion and a hate speech. Massive difference.
Well, going back to that, Frank, I mean, Tommy Robinson, I wouldn't be a big fan of, and I do think he's responsible for hate speech. But in the same instance, there's another guy on the other extreme, or that would have a different view of opinion. He's a TikToker and a YouTuber. I can't think of his name, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't even give out his name, because I wouldn't be giving them views and stuff like that. But he's anti-Palestine, and he's going out and he's inciting hatred and having people come up to him and hit him and whatever. But he's on the other side of the fence, and nothing has been done about him. But yet Tommy Robinson is on the other side, and he's getting arrested and he's doing time. So I think, as my father and my mother would say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If they're both inciting hatred, but on different sides, they should both do the time. That there shouldn't be one law for one and then a law for the other. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, let me just say this here, and it's Red Jew saying to, replying to Callum, which I like, because this is a platform where we can talk to each other, right? And he says, Callum, like him or hate him, show me the proof that Tommy's mouth is disgusting. You won't find any. Trust me, I've searched. All you've got is mainstream media lies down. It is. Look, I tell you, when Tommy Robinson first came onto the scene, and he was regurgitating something that a woman, Labour MP, said, a Labour MP, and it was about gangs throughout the country, grooming gangs, and I'll just leave it at that. Grooming gangs. Nothing happened to her, but they did look into it, and she even said to the police about the police. She said they're doing nothing because they're afraid to do anything, because of again what I said about Gaza and these kids. I can't get over the little princess. I can't get over that child. Dead.
It's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't half upset me.
Mm.
This little girl who lost her parents. It kills me. It kills me every time I think about this child. Dead. 3 years of age. 3. Is she a terrorist? For fuck's sake. Is she a terrorist? No. And so I'm seeing this before my eyes. So it's things like this that we're not allowed to say. It's like what this Tommy Robertson fella said. He is far right, don't get me wrong. It's shocking, some of the things that he's actually, come out with.
Well, he was part of what, Britain First or England First, was he? That organisation?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like that in itself, I mean, Redu, with the greatest of respect, to me, that is a group full of hate speech. Without a doubt, it's a group of hate speech. And I've looked at Tommy Robinson. I've seen some of his interviews, and I wouldn't support him. Without a doubt, I wouldn't support him.
But the crux of the matter is, he came out and said about these grooming gangs, and he was told to shut up, and that's wrong. About certain groups, it was wrong, right? Lock them away. That's what he came out and said. Why didn't the Labour MP get locked away? Why was it just them? Take him out. But anyway, getting back to Zelensky, getting back to him. Now he wants these Tomahawk missiles that can go deep into Russia. But it'll have to have American technology. They are American, by the way. But to send them from Ukraine, to launch them from Ukraine into Russia, it'd have to use Americans to do it. And Putin turned around and said, this is one thing you don't do. Because if you do, you're talking nuclear war. And this is why we're on the precipice of this fucking lunatic somehow manages to get these Tomahawks. He's finished him. He's going to die, by the way. I reckon he's going to die. And what else doesn't come out about these Ukrainians? They've got a death list. A death list. There's a 13-year-old girl on a death list. 13. And you've got Roger Waters on the death list. These people. They had Elon Musk on it. They had Elon Musk on this death list. And that's what they're doing. They're assassinating people, that you're not hearing of. They're assassinating people. And these are the Ukrainians. And all Putin wanted to do was to stop Russian-speaking people from being shelled. Russian-speaking, these are Ukrainian, Russian-speaking Ukrainians from being shelled. They wanted to, they banned everything Russian to these Ukrainians. Don't speak Russian. Change the whole of the culture. He went in to denazify Ukraine. Denazify, because these are all Nazis, no matter how you look at it, these Azovs. The horrible war criminals. the war criminals, every single one of them in Ukraine, these Azovs. And no matter what, Zelensky's, he knows he's finished. He knows that he can't go anywhere in. You know, he's got all these homes, he's fiddled, he's embezzled and whatever. There's a fella named Rand Paul, senator, still is. And he wanted to order to where this money was going 2 years ago. And the Americans went, no, we're not doing it. So they know as well that they're Nazis, big Nazis. They've been denying it for years, the Americans, denying it ever since the SMO, Special Military Operation. And now they're coming around to saying, well, yeah, because they're being captured with big swastikas tattoos on the backs and on the chest. You see what I mean? These are the people.
But I think a lot of people, Frank, are kind of, you know, they're not. I mean, I know for me personally, I'm not brainwashed by mainstream media. I make my own decisions. I don't go on, and I know Red, you had mentioned, you know, about Tommy Robinson, whatever. I'm not going on mainstream. I do know, like, from having, I have a friend that I have quite a number of conversations about society nowadays and what has been kind of pushed down our necks. You know, it was COVID, the vaccination, and then all of a sudden COVID, you know, wasn't a thing anymore, and then it was the Ukraine. And the more you do research into Zelensky, this was an actor who was the president of Ukraine in a TV show, and then all of a sudden became president of the Ukraine, and now he's like a hero. That's what they're treating him as a hero.
He's not a hero. He's a hero to some arseholes, you know.
I'm not saying he is.
Not in Ukraine, he isn't. Because he sent families. I watched a thing on there, was it Rumble or Telegram, something? And it was last year. Was it this year or last year? Anyway, I watched it. And it was CCTV, right? In Ukraine, in Kiev, right? I'm not saying Kyiv, I'm not saying that. It's Kiev. And anyway, you see this, like, you know, you could tell it was a mother and son, but the son was taller than the mother, and they were walking down the street. Then all of a sudden, this like van pulls up besides them. These fellas jump out in uniform, fatigues they're in, and grabbed the young lad, grabbed him, and threw him in. The woman was screaming. The woman was screaming because that was her son, and they threw him in. Only young lad. Found out that he was 16 years of age, so they threw him.
I'd well believe that. But my point that I was originally making is that you like, when I was talking to my friend, we were wondering, is this war with Russia and the Ukraine a red flag? Is it like to kind of deter or kind of distract you from what the real issues are in the world, you know, to excuse these companies putting up the prices of electricity and fuel and gas and whatnot? You know, that's what I meant by that. I question everything. I trust very few people, and I don't trust media at all. You know, so that's why I had to come on this show, because I am kind of singing off the same hymn sheet, although my view on American politics might be slightly different to yours, but certainly I would be open to being wrong and listen to other people's views. But I question everything nowadays, Frank, because you have to. I think everyone owes it to themselves to question everything that has been put out there.
Is America under the thumb of anyone? Can you answer that now? Yes or
No,
no?
no.
They are. They are. I'll
By
tell you
who?
who. Tell you who it is. It's Israel.
Oh, by Israel, without a doubt. Yeah,
And there you
absolutely. By
go.
Israel, yes. Sorry.
And they've got everyone else under the thumb.
Yeah.
Everybody's complicit in what's happening in the Gaza and the Lebanon.
That's what I said there earlier on when it
Yeah.
was the Shano show. I said that I said this they if Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF go up, for war crimes, then they're those who are complicit, those who have enabled him complete or to carry out a genocide should also be up for war crimes. And I mentioned America.
There's no chance of that.
Oh,
No,
not a hope in hell of it happening. Not a hope.
You know what the excuse will be, don't you? Is the excuse. It was war. That's all it is. It was war. But I tell you what, if there's any war crimes committed by, say, Hezbollah or Hamas, for example, they'd be brought up. But no Americans would be brought up, or Israelis, or any of the West. They won't be brought up. Any European from the EU won't be brought up. I tell you, there's put it this way, there's an arrest warrant for Putin. What's that all about? But, and one of the lads mentioned about Obama. I think it was Will P.
Yeah.
He was one of the worst warmongers. He's a criminal. He's a war criminal. Along with W. Bush. Remember him? W.
And that was a question I was going to ask you. If Obama is a war criminal, then what is W. Bush? So I'm glad you said that W. Bush or George W. was a war criminal or is a war criminal, because I think without a doubt he's a war criminal. Without a doubt. But going back to Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu, you often get those who side with Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel. You often get you're often told, you're ignorant. You don't know. You're brainwashed into what the West are telling you. And yet they're going to the West. They're going to the U.S. Senate, and they're saying, and I've said this to you before, Frank, Benjamin Netanyahu went into the U.S. Congress and said, if you give us the ammo or whatever, we'll finish the job quicker. And he got a standing ovation for that. So to me, they are complicit. They have blood on their hands and they have genocide on their hands. It is as clear as day that there is a genocide. It is not. It didn't start in October 7th.
No,
this is not defending themselves. This is a pure and utter onslaught. It's a slaughter of innocent people, men, women, and children, and it is without a doubt a genocide of our time. There is no two ways about it. And if you see then what goes on in Lebanon, how in the Christ can you, if you're using religion as a reason to back Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF, then you've lost all sense and meaning of religion.
Well, he's killing Christians as well,
Of course he is. He's killing first aid workers, killing journalists. I mean, there's only so much that you can say. Oh well, that was that was a mistake. My apologies. If you shoot, there was 3 aid vans. One time where they got 1 aid van in front of, so there was 3 in a row. They got the front aid van, right? Some survivors of that tried to get into the second aid van. What did they do with that? They blew that up, and then the third one. And then they try and pass that off as an excuse, or pass that off as a mistake. A mistake is the first time you bomb it.
Friendly fire, they said.
Friendly fire. Yeah, my hole. And is there any such thing as friendly fire?
Now, do you know who brought that terminology out, by the way?
Tell me.
George W.
Oh, I bet he did.
And what it was during the Iraqi war. And there was lads, and they were in an ambulance, British, big red cross on top of this, ambulance thing. And these Americans, flyers they were. And bang, they blew us up. And they said, he came out and said it was a friendly fire. Friendly fire. We didn't mean to do that. That's W. Bush. W. Right. The parents of these soldiers, they were only young kids. The parents wanted to sue America. Friendly fire. You can't sue on friendly fire. They were murdered because they just wanted to let go of whatever they had. It's shocking. It's shocking. Have you ever heard of an old prime minister of Israel called Menachem Begin? Menachem Begin. No.
No.
Begin. We'd say a bit like begin, but it's Begin. Right. Well, here's what happened. He was a terrorist in Israel when the British were there, trying to keep the peace. This is after they became, the state, 1947, 48. And he was a terrorist. And they captured 3 British sergeants and they hanged them from lampposts. They hanged them. Did anything happen to him? No. And when he was Prime Minister, Thatcher invited him to 10 Downing Street. And he's standing there like this, smiling. He's only a little fella next to Thatcher at number 10. The heck of begging. Horrible man. Horrible man. And
horrible.
That's what I like.
Horrible excuse of a woman as well.
Oh. I fought here for years. Hillsborough. I fought it for years. Let's see. Look at that. The red Jew. 2-tier starter, meaning starman, has just handed over our military to the UN. Meaning they can be sent anywhere without the approval of the UK government.
I remember watching US Congress questioning George Galloway about his business or his businesses and his relationship with Saddam Hussein. And I swear to Jesus, he tore strips out of them. I don't know whether you've ever seen it or not, Frank. You probably did. But certainly, if anyone hasn't, worth the watch. Worth the watch.
Worth the watch.
Oh, without a doubt. I actually like George Galloway. I really do.
I watch him.
Yeah.
I watch George Galloway.
Yeah.
He's actually read a couple of my comments out.
Has he? Oh, wow. Yeah.
He's actually read them. Yeah. I'm shocked myself.
Jesus.
Shocked. And, but he has, given his...
I like George. Not too fond of him pretending to be a cat and celebrity Big Brother, but we'll get past that.
When you mention that, that's what I say, get past that.
Get past all of that.
When you, when you say about George Galloway, people say, "Oh, Dad, you look at he's a nut at him. Look at him, what he was doing in that, that show, pretending to be a cat." I said, "No, you've got to get past that."
Yeah,
I said, comes out and speaks the truth. He's been over there to that America, speaking the truth to the Senate, and he was brilliant.
I see Northwest is seeing it as well. The Galloway Congress confrontation is the best bit of political drama you will ever see. I watched it from start to finish at North Red, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And he sat there cool as a cucumber, and he left them for dead. Oh my God, he destroyed them. Destroyed them.
Well, did you say, Sean, what hate speech you heard from Tommy Robinson himself? Not what you heard from the mainstream media. Tommy Robinson's cousin was ganged by those you cannot name. You know what it means by ganged, don't you? So you can't come out and say anything. You really can't, unless it's hate speech. And
no, I mean I've seen his own videos, and I've heard of what he's come out with. I don't know quote from quote, and I'm not going to quote anything from him because I don't want to misquote him. But I've seen, the kind of rhetoric that has come out of his own mouth, not from mainstream whatsoever. He seems to kind of hone on a particular race and a particular religion. And to me, it doesn't matter what religion or what race you are. We all have the same law or same rule, but he tends to hone.
Following him. He's got Muslims. Muslims actually, side with him.
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but I mean, if you're part of Britain first,
Yeah, I understand that. But it's like anything. Look, me and you could be, we could feel it. I've got this. I'm stressed out, to be honest.
Don't be stressed.
And no, I mean, I don't mean tonight, but from last night, I haven't slept, and it comes out on my face, and I keep itching, and I feel terrible. I'm like this, I'm like that, and
I'm the same, to be honest with you, and I don't know whether it's the fact that I walked an hour and a half in a costume that nobody knew who it was. Yeah. And I couldn't breathe and I couldn't see. So, yeah, it was so difficult in that.
You wasn't the Grim Reaper, was you, by any chance?
I was. Say that again?
You wasn't the Grim Reaper, by any
No,
chance?
did you not see the pictures?
I haven't seen any. As I said, listen, I had about... I went to bed. What time did I go to bed? I went to bed at, what time is it? About 9 o'clock. No, later. Yeah, just after 9 o'clock, whatever, this morning.
You went to bed 9 o'clock this morning?
Yeah, can't sleep. I've got insomnia. So I went to bed. And Tony came with his lovely wife, Jeanette, with these mince pies. I've been up since.
God, so almighty, Frank.
I went to bed. I had an hour or so, before Tony came,
Yeah.
And that's all I've had. A couple of hours.
That's not good, Frank. You need to get that sorted.
I know, and it's just the way it is. Last week, I was doing the pod. I was falling asleep. Like that. I was just trying to read. Shocking. But anyway, the Red Juice says 3 brothers have just been charged with you know what. See? The Ottoman Turk. I love that. Didn't the Ukrainian president put on a leotard and a tongue on national TV and dance like Beyonce? That's when he was a comedian. He was a comedian, and he used to play the piano with his penis. Didn't you know that?
I used to play the piano, but I certainly didn't do it with that.
Well, he did. That's when he was a comedian. He used to
Christ
play it with a piano. He used to play the piano with his penis.
It certainly brings a new meaning to the penis. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, God. Dad joke. I apologize.
No, that's Halloween is the only day Zelensky looks believable. It's a good comparison, shall we say? Yes. Let's be fair here. Tommy Robbins is TM shut. Hang on, shut is that
the EDL?
Oh, the EDL. Oh, yeah. EDL shut down EDL because it was infiltrated by real far rights. Why people keep mentioning EDL? There is no EDL, but people still using it against them. It's like, yeah, I agree there actually with you, Red Jew, because if you want to label someone, you label them, and that label sticks, and you keep at it all the time. You keep at it. It's like Putin. Putin's been demonized as a war criminal, and it's wrong. It's wrong. He is not a war criminal. Do you know why? Have you had any idea why there was an arrest warrant out for him? By the way.
So you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, Sean. Have you got any?
I don't know anything. I'll be very straight with you. I've tuned out of the whole Russia-Ukraine thing altogether because I don't want to be influenced by certainly anything that the Americans say about anything. And I don't know too much about it, if I'm honest.
Okay. Well, there's been an arrest warrant right on him. Obviously, it's the American.
Yeah, I know that much. Yeah.
Right, okay. What he's being accused of, and what this arrest warrant says, he went into the soldiers, went into the Donbass area and brought out 400 children. Or was it 600? I'm not quite 600. 600 children, and brought them into Russia. Out of the war zone, they were being shelled. Kids were being killed by the Ukrainians.
Mm-hmm.
On Ukrainians themselves, right? On these Russian-speaking people. And he got them into Russia. And he put them into a big camp. Now, you might think, oh, camp, automatically you think like...
Auschwitz, yeah.
Exactly. These were school camps where they taught, the likes of music and athletics and, everything. This is where they went. Beds, bedrooms, everything they had, these children. And he kept them there for safety out of the war zone. Did you know that every single one of them, except about 50 or something like that, have gone back to the parents because they're safe? And the 50 odd or whatever it is, they're orphans now. And they're just staying in Russia. So why hasn't that been lifted? Why hasn't it been lifted, this walk?
It fits their narrative because the Americans are always trying to. It goes back to what I said about Paul Newman, the actor, when he made the comparison of Israel shooting down a plane and nothing said about it, and then Russia do it, and there's disgust and
murderers, and yet they get called everything, and it's wrong. It's shocking. It really is shocking. Who should have a war thing out on them is Zelensky. They've been committing war crimes every day, every single day. There's film of 11. I've seen it. 11. They captured these Russians, and they tied them with that that plastic stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Those ties. Yeah. And they said, get on the ground. So they were lying on the ground, and the evens on the feet. Still got the boots on, so their hands were tied behind the back. And they shot them in the head. Every one of them. Is that a war crime? Prisoner of war? Or prisoners of war?
Well, I mean, my thought on that, and I would agree with you. It's the same what the Americans did in my God, what was the camp where they were taking pictures of prisoners of war?
Oh, do you mean in Guantanamo?
Yes.
Guantanamo Bay, shocking.
Absolutely.
Guantanamo Bay. It was a death camp.
Yeah.
It was a death camp.
Red Jew is in. I mean, Red Jew is just getting in there.
Careful, Frank. You've already upset MI5 and 6. You don't want to upset Mossad. Got to chat in the code these days, yeah.
All right, IBR.
Is IBR there?
IBR is there. He's saying, evening, Frank and Shawnino.
Sure.
I like that. I might put that on a jersey.
Shawnino. I got me granddaughter.
The Trent jersey, is it?
Yeah, she got it. And she can't wait to wear it. She can't wait to wear it.
You might need to get a Real Madrid one next season.
But listen to this. Yeah, I don't know. I was on the pod last night. I know I'm digressing. I'm sorry, people. And it was great. And one of the lads, Anfield Row, I just said, I can't get tickets. I've tried everything. Because I promised my little granddaughter, and I'm going back. Do you know when we were, when the Champions League was first, who we've got and whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll take you to see Real Madrid. She said, will you, Granddad? I said, yeah. And anyway, she said to me, keeps saying to me, Granddad, will I be able to? She's got a hat as well, a knit.
Yeah.
She said, will I be able to wear me Trent shirt? I said, yeah. But I can't get a ticket, right? So this is what I'm saying last night. One of the lads said, I might have you them.
Oh.
For me, I can't take it on my own, you see. There's no way.
Yeah.
I have to be helped as well. And for Francine as well, who's a big lad.
Yeah.
So I might have them. And Red Raw, Anfield Raw, not Red Raw, Anfield Raw said, I might have you them. I'll let you know by Saturday. So it'd be fantastic.
That's incredible. Well done, Red Roar. And if you can get me tickets to any game anytime soon, I'd much appreciate it.
I used to always get them. Oh, lovely Myra's still with us. Look. Love that lady.
IPR.
She's the same as us. She's the same as us, by the way. She's, do you ever go on an alternative streams? You said about George Galloway.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Absolutely.
What to go on? Go on a thing called Judge Napolitano, Judging Freedom. You'll get that on YouTube. Judging Freedom with Judge Napolitano. He has guests on there who I've got great respect for, judging freedom. And the guest that he has on, you'll be the best guests are on a Monday.
Okay.
And these are great people, absolutely wonderful people who speak the truth. One of them was an ex weapons inspector, and he went to Iraq looking for the weapons of mass destruction. And he came out with Hans Blix and said, "There's none here," in Iraq.
Mm.
And
they still went in.
Yeah, well, it was all lies because,
of course, it was.
They wanted to destabilize the whole of the Middle East to flood Europe, which is what they've done. It's been a huge success because the economy in Europe is finished. It really is. It's gone. There's not just Germany who's losing industry. It's also France. It's everywhere. They're all losing heavy industry. Anyway, and Scott Ritter, his name's Scott Ritter, weapons inspector. You see other things, other footage of him when he just got back from Iraq, and he's interrogated in the Senate, more or less calling him, "You're a liar, you know that there was weapons of mass destruction there." And do you know who he's being interrogated by in the Senate? Joe Biden. Joe Biden, when he was younger. Joe Biden, and he got arrested. His house was, a few weeks ago, was raided by the FBI and the CIA, and they were in full uniform with big guns, and they raided his house and took all this electronic stuff away because he comes on streams and tells the truth. First time I heard him was 3 years ago, and I said to Jason, "There's a fella named Scott Ritter, try and get him on the show to tell people what's going on."
Well, Jesus, I hope they don't raid you now, Frank. If Frank goes missing, guys, we need to start a protest. We need to get over there quick to save Frank. I'll provide the T-shirts. I'll get the T-shirts printed out. Free Frank.
Free Frank. Free Frank. The 2 F's. I'll put a little S at the end. Free Frank S.
Yeah.
FFS. It's like this. Look, it's like that. Right. Just bear with me. Was our greatest queen really a man? Right. Right. Now, who's our greatest queen, as it says there? Who is it?
You're asking me.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be very against the monarchy, so you're asking the wrong person there.
Yeah, well, I'm against them.
Yeah.
I'm against them. I fought against the establishment, if you know what I mean. But
I know you did, but I wouldn't be able to answer that as an Irishman.
But that queen is Queen Elizabeth I.
Yeah. What
I'm saying is, she was a man, by the way. I'm convinced of that. She was a man.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah. It was imperative that she'd marry and have heirs, to the throne to keep the Protestant line going. But she wouldn't marry. And you know that she never, ever, get onto this, seen a doctor in her life, albeit that she was ill as well. She ordered that there be no autopsy when she died. 3 maids seen her naked. Maids. And they were executed.
Jesus.
She had male pattern baldness. She shaved every day. That's why she wore a lot of white makeup to hide,
Yeah.
you know, the 7 o'clock shadow.
Didn't she cover her face with her own urine as well?
She used to put it on, then put this powder on,
Yeah.
right? There was a girl named Sarah Miles, an actress, great actress. She used to drink her own urine.
I think I heard Eddie Vedder, lead singer of Pearl Jam, used to do the exact same, but I can't confirm that.
Do you know what it is? It's purifying. Did you know that? Urine is purifying.
Frank, as thirsty as I would be, especially after a Saturday night on the tiles or dancing, there's not a hope of me drinking my own piss. Not happening. Not happening.
Well, anyway, let me carry on about this one. So she had, shaved every day.
Mm.
I'm going to come to the crux of it when I finish this, right? So she had no breasts. That's why she always wore a ruffle, on every single thing. Look, I'll show you. Right. Every artist were not forced, but they were asked to make it look more feminine, so you don't see the true likeness.
Mm-hmm.
She was very hirsute. She had big hands, big feet, and she stood 6'1". You're talking around the 1500s when women were tiny.
I remember seeing gloves belonging to her, and the size of her fingers were massive.
Enormous.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, right. There she is. There. Right. Now that's it. That's it. She always wore them because she had no breasts. She had a big airy chest, airy arms. She has airy everything, and male pattern baldness, as I said. Okay. So that's a true picture of her, by the way, But artists were made it to look feminine. And you know what else they had the ruffle from? You know what the ruffle? What else did they
Oh,
think?
the Adam's apple. The Adam's apple.
Even the Spanish said she was a fella.
They couldn't shave the Adam's apple in those days.
No. And that's why. Definitely a man. As I said, she had to marry to keep the Protestant line going. The Earl of Essex, he was always questioning. And he was saying, come on, let's get married. And she was saying, no. And the excuse was the spin. They've been spinning things for years, as you know. Even Liverpool Football Club, the owners spin a lot. Right, so spin's been going on since the year dot. And the spin was with her. She married the country. She can't marry because she married the country. Yeah, so that was the spin.
IBR is saying that she had a lizard tongue as well. Don't know what that's about.
He's a naughty. I always remember an old actress by the name of Irene Handel. She's in these the old 50s and comedy, Peter Sellers. And she would have said to him, "You naughty boy, you naughty boy."
Sounds like one of those Carry On actresses.
She wasn't in many of them, but like what Peter Sellers used to make, them films,
Oh, Peter Sellers was great.
Did you ever see that one where not Peter Sellers wasn't in it, but Sid James was, and they were robbers, and they got called,
No.
they got followed, right? But they hid the money in this, this tree.
Yeah.
You know a tree with it, like one of them round things that's hollow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they hid the money there, so they got out years later. So funny. There was a big wall around this tree, a big wall, and in the middle of the wall, by the tree, was a police station.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So you should have seen they went into this house, rented this top room.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're thinking of ways to get over, and they had these things, they can't do it. So Sid James, he got a harpoon, right? A harpoon, that you get whales with.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend's brilliant actress was Sylvia Sims. She was a dumb blonde, young. And anyway, she walks into the room, and there it is by the window, this big harpoon. Sir James was standing there. And Dick Emery. And she went, "Oh, what's that?" He said, "It's a harpoon." And she went, "Oh, is that what you capture whales with?" And he went, "Yeah." And she was looking at the, this big harpoon thing, the big thing.
Yeah.
And she looked at it and she went, "Do you put the worm? Do you put the worm on the end here?" Well, I say that.
Oh. They don't make comedies like that anymore. They really don't.
No, that's not all fun. The North Red, that Galloway Congress confrontation is the best bit of political drama you will ever see.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
What do you think of that Netanyahu? I think to mention that Netanyahu getting a 56th whatever standing ovation.
That's what I said to you. Yeah. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You cannot look at what's going on there, and because if you look at Sky News, it's Hamas and what they've done with the hostages. There's so much.
I think that's it.
Oh, they are dead. They're dead long ago.
That's why they won't negotiate, because who killed them?
Of course. Like they said, go to Rafah. You'll be safe there. And what did they do? They bombed the shit out of Rafah. So do you know what I mean? That's why all the hashtags were out. All eyes on Rafah.
This the war. Lovely. And he says, "Hi, Myra," because Myra led on to read you and any I've missed. IBR, how are you, mate? Oh, this is fantastic.
They're out in their droves.
Frank, never knew you was the Greek god Atlas. I want to be Adonis. I love English literature. I used to teach it, English literature.
Mm.
And when I did the sonnets and everything else of Shakespeare, shall I compare thee to a summer's dream? Fancy me saying that to some fella. But anyway.
I was a bit worried. I thought you were saying that to me. Not too sure whether I'd be compared to a summer's dream, that's for sure. I don't think the Irish women even compare me to a summer's dream.
Oh, yeah, it's shall I compare thee to a summer's day, isn't it? Really? Oh, it's so funny, honest. But I was doing it once. I was reading it out. And this fella, one of the students, said to me, "Oh, I didn't know you were like that." You know, this is at the end of the tutorial, you know. I said, like what? He said, because he was talking to this lady, you know, in the sonnet, and then this other poet came in and took over. So he left there. This is Shakespeare, left there in the sonnets and went to this fella, young lad, and he called him Adonis. And I was explaining all this, you know, like a Greek god, beautiful. And I was explaining all this, and that's what the student came over. He went, I didn't know you were like that. Didn't know you were like that, you know, Frank. Doc. They called me Doc. I said, no, I said, I'm not. You know, I said, I'm just explaining the bloody sonnet. People take it literally. Really.
Well, that's my middle name, Adonis.
What?
That's my middle name, Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah. No,
Great.
I'm not joking.
No,
you're kidding. Yeah. How would I have that sort of middle name with an Irish name like mine? Are you kidding?
You never guess what my middle name is. I've got an hyphenated name, you know, and hardly anyone ever knows that.
Let me think. There has to be some Italian name there.
Yeah. Francesco Domenico Volante Carlyle.
Wow. That ladies and gentlemen, that is an amazing name. I wish I could really come back and say that my name sounds a little bit better than that, but it doesn't.
But anyway, no, that's apart. She sounded like Barry White, that queen. I think she did, because the Spanish said it's documented in Spanish history that she spoke. She had a handshake like a man. What did they say it was? Like a vice, you know, a grip, you know, the grip of a vice. And she had a gruff voice. Oh my God.
I was going to be kind of saying now, I mean, if they said that she had a grip like a vice and a voice like Barry White, I'd be kind of questioning the validity of that quote. But
some mad comments here. IBR says Frank's name sounds like an opera singer.
That's not what I had in mind, IBR. But it was either that or an Italian footballer or something else, which I won't mention.
Well, someone said to me, have you got any pictures when you were younger? And I said, yeah. What? So I showed them this picture. It's on my phone. I said, yeah, there I am. And they said, how old are you there? I said, about 32, 33. And they went like, they put us on their social networks. Saying, want to see the photograph of Frank when he was 32? He looks like a 70s Italian porn star.
That's what I was going to say. I'll tell you, John Travolta and Saturday Night Fever only puts him in his halfpenny place. I thought your middle name was Izzy the First, Franco, he says.
Or
Lizzie the First.
Izzy or Lizzie. I think that's a cracker one. That's another one. Look. She has a lizard son. See, don't forget, what's his name? Callum. No, David Icke.
David Icke, yeah.
And said that the royalty are lizards. That's what he said. The lizard. There's lots of lizard people about who are all up there.
Well, I'm nearly telling St. Patrick to come back because there's a few snakes left in Ireland.
Well, I thought Paddy got rid of them, all the snakes.
No, there's a few of them back, I'll tell you. In our government.
Well, listen. So let's recap. The thing is about everything. America can stop this like that. The unfortunate thing is they won't, because they're making too much money. If Donald Trump gets in, he will stop it. He will stop it. It won't be right away, but he'll turn around on the day of his inauguration, sign a bill. They reckon that he's got them signed, not signed, but printed out. No more weapons or money for Israel. But I can't see that, to be honest. I'll tell you for why. Definitely no money for Zelensky and weapons. Definitely none of that. Definitely. And he turns around and he said, and I think he wants to disband NATO.
He did mention when he was president, when he went to a NATO meeting, he says that he basically put it to all the world leaders in NATO. He said, we're paying our bit. You guys aren't paying as much. That's going to change. And I thought to myself, holy shit, he's just called all of them out in public, and them all looking at each other and not knowing, what to say or do. And I actually thought fair play to him there. But I mean, Frank, can I ask you, because obviously this is something that I've been kind of looking and studying and trying to be well versed in, and obviously it's on everyone's minds, Israel and Palestine. What do you think is the realistic outcome of that?
I'll have to go to my map.
Yeah.
I'll have to go to my map if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I think I know where we're going with this one.
I can't get it. I can't get it. I can't get it.
Is that because I'm there?
No. I've shown it before. It should be on down at the bottom here, so I could just click on. You see what I mean? It's like taking you off there, like, I can remove you.
Yeah.
See? Like me.
Oh. It's back to the Shano show.
No, but the point is, you see, I wish I could show it. I think when I unplugged it, Jason forgot to put it up.
Okay.
Where I could see. I'm looking at it on my other monitor here. And I've been clicking it and everything.
But I think what you're getting at is you think that the greater Israel is a possibility?
Yeah. The only way that this can stop is if Donald Trump gets in. Honestly, that's the only way. That is the only way. If Donald Trump gets in, and he will stop it. That's the Middle East. It'll stop the Ukraine. That'll be sorted. That will be sorted one way or the other. But it's got to be, believe it or not, on Putin's terms, because he'll take no notice of Trump. It'll be on Putin's terms. Now, here's what you've got. You've got this Congress, who are horrible people, American Congress. That's the same Congress that gave Netanyahu 57 ovations, which was an absolute disgrace. These are the same Congress who would have given that Juncker, who got a standing ovation, 2 standing ovations in the Canadian Parliament, that Nazi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see. Now, I was going to say this, actually. I was going to say, I'm just seeing it here. I see Israel using nukes. Okay, now, do you know that Israel are not supposed to have them? They are not supposed to have them. It's against the all international laws. It's against all international law. Now, where's the point? If they use a nuke, I'm telling you now, a nuclear war will start. A nuclear war will start. And Israel has to be stopped by all means possible. Netanyahu, no matter what, you know, he won't be brought up for war crimes. But as soon as he stops being prime minister, Netanyahu, he has to go to court where he's up for fraud. And that's carrying a heavy sentence.
Oh,
this
his
is what
wife is up for fraud as well, isn't she?
Who?
His wife.
Yeah, they're all up for it.
Mm.
Now, they don't want to go to jail. There's no way that they want to go to jail. And that's another thing. Why he could just go like that, press a button. Let's finish it. Let's finish it, everyone.
I have to disagree with you on one thing.
Go on.
So, like, you're saying if Trump comes in, that he's going to finish all these wars. He still has to rely on Congress. And that's where the issue lies. The
issue is with Congress. But he's the president. He's the chief. He's the man.
But he can put something to Congress. It's up to Congress then to either say yay or nay.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. And that's the way their system works. But he's a maverick, and he says, "I'm going to do. I'll just." He's already got the documents printed. Once he signs them, Congress can't do anything. Congress wanted to go into Iran. They wanted to go in. Who stopped them? You know, and it was the Pentagon. The Pentagon said, "You're crossing the red line with Russia. You're going to bring Russia into this." They don't want a confrontation with Russia, you know. And this is why all this ridiculous thing about North Korea. The Russians took the piss out of all this when they captured this place, you know, in Ukraine, this town, and they put a fucking big massive North Korean flag. You know, he's taking the piss. He said, "Hey, look, they captured it for us," and that was a couple of weeks ago. They're going on about it. This Zelensky's going on about it. Zelensky had the fucking cheek to turn around and say, "We're fighting not one country, but two countries." Russia's fighting the world, not the world, but all Europe.
Yeah.
And America. There's loads of Americans being captured, which you don't hear of. British, French, and they've all been killed as well. You know, loads of Polish.
Well, it's a difficult one. I mean, I think over the last number of years, I don't think the Americans have had really a great selection to vote from. I'm a little bit worried about Trump, but I'm not all that sure about Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, no, she's. Oh, please, Sean, come on.
No, I'm saying I'm not convinced by her. I'm not
No,
convinced by her.
no, because she's a puppet.
Yeah.
No one's voted her in to be voted
No,
in.
I'm not disagreeing with you with Camilla Harris. I'm just saying to you that it's picking, the lesser evil. Do you know what I mean?
Evil, yeah. No, but
That's my view on it.
she hasn't got a
I'm not
mandate.
convinced by her at all. I don't like the woman, and I said at the start of the show the fact that when someone asked about Gaza, she brought up the hostages, and that to me says all I really need to know about the woman.
I'm still fucking freezing on this. It's really pissing me off. Myra says, my country gave Israel nuke tech in the 1960s. Yes, but so did America.
Sure.
They said, don't build one, don't build one. And do you ever remember a few years ago? I always forget this leader's name of Iran, and he was a moderate. And they said, don't you be built? They were building, a nuclear plant, or they built it, I don't know. And, they had the opportunity to build a nuclear missile. Well, not just one, loads of them. And they said, oh, don't do it, So we said, okay. So we closed it down. Well, they've got a nuclear plant there. They've got a nuclear plant. But little does Israel know, but they do know. That's why I'm afraid that if Iran attacks, look, the disinformation, the propaganda against Iran is phenomenal. Phenomenal right now. And it could cause catastrophic consequences, because what they're saying is Iran is going to attack Israel. Now, think about this. Israel attacked those first, attacked Iran first. And the West are saying, don't you attack Israel. They have a right to defend themselves.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that all about? They had a right to defend themselves.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. I was like, are you for fucking real?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm wearing my altar boy top, but I just have a
Well, I've got my priest garb. I was going around last night trick or treating, giving them the big blessing. All these Frankensteins and vampires and things like that.
Now I look like Friar Tuck. Look at me.
Oh, Friar Tuck.
Brother Sean in the house.
Oh, do you know who you look like? Honestly.
What does I look like?
Do you know the Spanish Inquisition?
I look like Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, that's what they used to wear, the red. And going around grabbing these people and cutting the tongues out and putting them to death as heretics.
I won't be cutting any tongues, I promise.
Red of the devil. Red of the devil. Wow. But anyway, what we've got, people, is we're still in with this propaganda that Iran is going to attack Israel. I think Israel, which let's hope not, will attack Iran again. And if they attack Iran again, I think it's game over, because Iran will attack.
I think the Spanish Inquisition got rid of me there for a second there.
Yeah, well, that's it, you see. That's it. We're two good altar boys, you know what I mean?
We're two good altar boys. Leave us alone. We're two holy men. We're men of the cloth. Leave us alone.
Yes. And we're vampire killers as well.
Vampire killers. I was dressed up as Sylvester the cat last night, and not one person knew who the hell I was.
Look at that quote. Look at that comment.
There you go, Red Jew. I'm a man of mystery. I'm a man of mystery.
I wonder why Shauna was so inquisitive and didn't know he was Spanish.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah. So watch that. Judging Freedom. He's
Judging
brilliant
Freedom.
at
Yeah.
judging that. Also, there's another cracking program which is called, but I can't watch them anymore simply because I'm doing bloody podcasts, and that's redacted. But I watched two lads off the Joran. One is called Alex Christoforou, and he has his own little show. You know, he only does about half an hour, but he comes out like satirical as well. He's brilliant. Also, his mate, which is Alexander Mercurius. Alexander Mercurius.
They're all asking about what I was dressed up as last night.
Yeah, look, and this is what I mean about African countries, you know, destabilized. They're not destabilizing now because Myra comes from South Africa. And Myra says, we gave up nuclear weapons, but we still get targeted by USA nukes, but still targeted by USA. My city of Liverpool is the blackest, believe it or not, is the blackest spot in Europe for a nuclear attack. Did you know that, Sean?
I didn't know that, no.
Yes, the blackest spot in Europe because all the materials to make nuclear weapons, don't forget there's about, how many bases are here in America? American bases. There's loads. There's not just one American base here, you know. They've got silos all over the place, and they still need all this nuclear, materials to come through, and it comes through Liverpool. Docks at Liverpool and gets sent to the silos. It's shocking what the Americans are doing, you know.
Bless you, Myra. Tell me your confessions. How long has it been since your last confession? Speak to me, child.
Friends of mine, when I was 24, like one of my best mates, you know, he was only me and him, and he died.
Oh.
He died, you know, he had that leukemia, and he died. And anyway, you know, being a Catholic, said his dad and mother said to me, are you going to confession? Because I was carrying him as well, you know, with other mates. I said, yeah. I said, I'll go to confession. And I went to confession. And this is through this, you know. Oh, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, right? And I said, I've committed every murder I've committed every sin except murder. And he went, and you know those little things, you know, that you pull across in the confessional box?
Yeah.
He pulls it across and went, what did you just say? So I committed all. I said, just bless me, Father. I said, I want to go home.
Just bless me on my last case, Father.
Exactly. I was 24 years of age. I just bless me, Father. Forgive me. He gave me loads of Hail Marys and Our Fathers, you know, and it was there for
I'd
ages.
say so. Yeah.
I could kneel down then. I didn't mind.
Oh, Jesus, I can barely kneel down and get up. Jesus, IBR, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Oh,
that's dreadful.
IBR, mate. Should have. Should have said.
That's terrible. Cancer's a horrible thing.
I always remember our Stevie, he said to me, it's got no respect for anybody.
Oh, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, I've seen the effects of cancer in my own family. You know, from my aunt to my mother and father, and it's horrific. It really is. It's horrible, horrible disease. When it's caught on time, it's a lot
Go
of
on,
people say,
carry on.
yeah. It's when you catch it on time, you're told, oh well, at least you got it on time and whatever. But psychologically, that person is never quite the same, because if they have a sniffle or if they're sick again, they think, oh, the cancer's back. So it's always good to know, if you're if you have a family member or a friend who has cancer or has just gone through cancer and is in remission, to just be thoughtful of that, because it's psychological. If it doesn't get you, it gets you psychologically, if you know what I mean. It's horrible. Red Juice says, I got mugged by 6 men who said they were okay. Went to police, who asked me to describe them. When I told them I was chucked out of the police station for being okay.
What's that?
Red Jew.
No, well, I've got in my hand.
Oh, that's my watch. That's my watch. Build Klopp a stadium. Hey lads, happy Friday.
Be better if I showed you than that.
Evening, how it's going? It's going good. Yeah, that's my watch. That's going on my wrist at the end of the season.
That's your back. See,
yeah,
the work's going. See, with a freezing, can't see.
Yeah, that'll go nicely on my wrist.
Do you know what? I can't wind it because me.
You were saying you have to literally kind of dig in and pull it out.
Well, the thing is, you see, I would have wore it tonight to show everything, and I couldn't, simply because that kills me. This arm, both arms kill me. So I'll just show that, and I want to show this as well. You don't mind? And these are for the fantasy footballs.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Both fantasy footballs, and I'll have to let people know where they are in the thing.
Well, I know that I'm 5th. I've kind of slipped down a bit down the table, but I'm just kind of giving you the false sense of security before I take the watch. I know, Red Jew, I think Frank is worried that my wrist has got thicker. I think that's what he's worried about. And I keep telling him, no, my wrist is okay.
Well, yeah, build Bill Clopper a statue. Did you see J-Lo just back Kamala? She'll be in jail there. She's going to go to jail for about 30
J-Lo,
years.
yeah.
J-Lo.
Jenny block me, you know what?
Who blocked you?
No, Jenny from the block, she calls herself.
Oh, Jenny, I thought you said.
She may have blocked me.
Same with LeBron James, our Liverpool man. He'd be in fucking jail. I don't want him there.
Don't get me started on LeBron James. Absolute joke. He should be taken. Is he still on that cop?
Yeah,
He should be
shocking.
ripped off it.
Shocking. Yeah, look. The red Jew. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Red Jew, did you see the pictures of him in the French maid's outfit?
LeBron James?
Yes.
No.
Pictures all over the internet of LeBron James in a French maid's outfit. There you go.
That's shocking.
I know.
And
All right, Lucho.
Red Jew says LeBron James was seen at Diddy's freak-offs, according to a whistleblower, not saying it's true. Or no, he's been well there. I've seen photographs of him.
Yeah, but sure, he said on a live stream, there ain't no party like a Diddy party. So he's obviously been at a Diddy party.
Of course he has.
And he's, you know.
Yeah, look. Lucho Magic. LeBron has 2.5 shares in the club. He gets about 32 million every year. And did he pay for them? No.
Of course not.
He never paid a penny.
Red Juice says, Shano, I didn't see them pics, weirdo. I hope you should call it. Is Red Jew calling me a weirdo for seeing the pics or LeBron?
No, he's calling LeBron. LeBron James.
I didn't particularly want to see them, but they just surfaced. I didn't go Googling them. But yeah, complete weirdo.
Do you know what, though? I'm not saying what IBR Stella says there. You know, Chivo. You know, Chivo.
Oh. I've been doing nothing with my wrist. Thank you very much.
A lot of Diddy's friends. Oh, come on. Fucking Diddy. Why did he call himself? Didn't he call himself Puff as well once?
His name, here's the thing. His name was Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy. Okay.
And then he called himself P. Diddy. And the funny thing is, I went to a P. Diddy concert once, and I feel dreadful for it. Okay? And no, I didn't dress up in a French maid's outfit, nor did I go to a party belonging to P. Diddy. Just thought I'd clear that up.
Jay says, who makes maid's outfits 7 foot?
Team you, I'd imagine.
Listen, lads, you know, if you just come on there, like Liverpool's Yabby and You Never Walk Alone and the other lads, Luco, can you just subscribe to and press the likes, please?
Absolutely, guys, yeah. Subscribe, like, share.
Please, because good people on here. Good people. Myra says, again, Frank, use a watch made of titanium. It's good for condition and gin. Gin?
Jim or gin?
Gin. That's it. That's gin there. That'll be G&T.
Oh, G&T.
I watch made. Oh, she has a watch made from titanium. And it's good for muscular issues. Is it? Yeah, you told me that once, didn't you? I have 2 Breitlings and a Cartier.
I have an Apple Watch and a Fitbit, and I do no exercise. Go figure that one out.
Well, my daughter says she wanted me to get one of them. I said, what for? She said, to see how many steps you take, Dad. I said, from here, you know, my couch, to make myself a cup of tea over there, about 10 steps.
Listen, I mean, the funny thing is, right, when I'm in work and I'm talking to a customer or whatever, sometimes my watch picks up on the conversation and talks back to me. Try to explain that to someone on the phone.
I smashed that thumbs up. You never walk alone, family. Thank you. All that baby oil found in Diddy's den was laced with rape. Yes.
I heard that, yeah. Allegedly is the appropriate word, because if you don't mention allegedly, your comment gets deleted apparently by YouTube.
The red Jews answering to, about titanium watch. She says, it's good for the things. And Myra, he says, I need a titanium bodysuit.
I'll tell you one thing for nothing, Red Jew. You're not the only one. After the walking I did yesterday, and I'm thinking, I'm going trick-or-treating. This is great. There'll be a few houses. I did a whole estate, so I did. And I couldn't breathe, couldn't see, and I was dressed up as Sylvester the cat, who nobody knew who Sylvester the cat was.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Please do.
It's about our kids. Our Jared.
Yeah.
They're going to it, they got invited, they're all friends. So we're having a fancy dress party, New Year's party. So, our kids went, fancy dress? Yeah, we're having one. So anyway, Anne said his wife, and Anna's one of those who, I don't think she's got a sense of humour. But anyway, by the by. So what does she go as? She said, what shall I get? So she got dressed up. She got dressed up as a penguin. A penguin.
A penguin bar, or the penguin out of Batman, or an actual penguin?
Penguin. Fucking penguin. Not Batman. Penguin. Proper penguin, black and white thing,
Yeah.
And our kids, I don't know what he dresses up as. So to get to the part, right? And they go and knock on the door, they'll be all saying like that, and they're all dressed normal. And she went mad.
That's brilliant.
And he was laughing his head off our kids.
That is brilliant.
She says, I'm going. And as she was going, she was wiggling like that. That's the way she was walking out the door.
That is brilliant. That's so funny. I love tricks like that. I love playing pranks on people like that. Red Jew, I wasn't the trick, I was the treat. I should have been Garfield. I think Garfield would have been more.
Bill the Clock, that's you. He says, can't wait until the trial testimony when we hear the filth about the Reverend T. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. And I was just sitting there the other night watching the news, not the mainstream news. I don't watch that anymore. And there's a nice picture with P. Diddy. This little fella, he's always there, or thereabouts. this the Reverend T.D. Jakes in participation. Feels like a lot of popular people about to be exposed.
Yeah, well, Bill Klopp, a statue. There's a comedian who a lot of people don't like because he tells it how it is, and that's Cat Williams. And he said that there very recently, or probably the start of the year, he says everyone that has been doing wrong in 2024 is going to get caught up, is going to be called out. You
Yeah,
know,
but
oh, absolutely.
you've got Epstein in jail. You've got Epstein who died in jail. He was
Yeah.
murdered, definitely murdered.
Epstein.
Yeah. And you've got the likes of Ghislaine Maxwell, the only one. She's a scapegoat.
Yeah.
She's the only one in jail
Mm.
because there was all high-ranking politicians.
You should look at Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby and how he got out of jail.
Still be rotting in jail, him. Dirty old man, him.
And the only reason why he got out was that she signed an affidavit saying that she wouldn't divulge any of the information. And it turns out that they found the affidavit and said, well, there you go. And he was let off free.
Yeah. Yep.
Ridiculous. And you know, it's really sad because I used to love the Cosby Show. But Jesus Christ, not anymore.
What about, I've seen a picture of Denzel at the...
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, at the Diddy party. And he said, I never stayed long. I walked out, you know, I only went in to say hello. And I thought, yeah, you fucking did. Yeah, I bet you did.
If he's caught up in it, I'd be devastated. I really would.
Denzel. Well, anyway, hit the thumbs up, people, says Football Flashback. Thank you, Football Flashback. And even all my subscriptions, you know, YouTube must do it. They take away subscriptions, you know.
We were having the same issue, Frank, and I think there is something that this YouTube do. But I think we're gaining subscribers now. We were lucky enough. We had our first membership draw. I must tell you who won it because it's someone.
What's a membership draw?
So we have a little membership kind of thing on our subscription, and it's like from $1.99 per month, and we have like we went into a partnership with a sports memorabilia place, Fibber Sports Memorabilia, and they were very kind to donate 3 prizes for us. So we picked it. We did a draw there today, and the winner was announced there today, and they're getting a lovely signed photo from Jan Moby. So
Big Jan.
Yeah, it's a fantastic picture that they're getting. So
I know Jan, you know. No.
Yeah, you were telling me. I've met Jan twice, and he's an absolute gent, and a very funny man at that.
And his wife Mandy's a lovely person.
Yeah, lovely person. I love Jan.
Yeah, lovely people.
Yeah.
And the Football Flashback says Justin Bieber was probably in some weird ass situations in his youth. Would help explain why nowadays he seems more passionate about Jesus and hockey than anything to do with the music business.
I think even in one or two of his songs, he's kind of alluded to something that may have gone on there. And it certainly excuses some of his really delinquent behavior over the last number of years. But I think now that this has kind of come out, he seems to be very affected by it. So, you know, if anything happened to him, God love him, you know.
Yeah. Jay says, I took our baby trick or treating last night. He was a vampire teddy bear. Some fella came out and ignored our baby and said, "Hey, yeah, lad," and gave me the sweets. Because he said, and his own boy said, he said to our baby, "Your dad's mask is better than yours," and laughed. He said, Jay,
So funny.
and Jay says, I wasn't dressed up.
That's very funny.
But listen, I think listen, people, thank you for joining, you know, me tonight. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Thanks for having me, Frank. I wasn't too sure if I was going to come on, but I was actually in the middle of reading. I was starting to read The Last Shankly Boy, and I've read about 20 pages of it, and it's like already I know that I'm going to love the book. So, guys and girls, definitely get the Last Shankly Boy, George Scott's Anfield Journey. Fantastic book. Jeff Golden, really, really good book.
Yeah, Jeff's on my show with you and George on Tuesday night.
Brilliant.
You know,
I'm really looking forward to that.
And this time next week, on the 11th, I'm giving a bloody talk on the day. Historical talk, that is. Not a, you know, certain thing. I'm doing the gunpowder plot.
All right.
At this place. And then from there, I'll be going to CGF and George at this book launch. You know, the last
the
stage.
other book that they have out as well.
Yeah. The last days of Cop's last days, or the Cop's last stand. The most telling bit is that Usher lived with Diddy when he was a teenager too, and Howard Stern asked him after they talked about all the weird things he saw if he would let his son live with Diddy. Well, I'm not being funny, but put it this way. If I had an 8-year-old son or a 9-year-old son or even a 6-year-old, and someone asked me this, and I'm going back years ago, they said to me, would you allow, I said, no way would I allow my child, my boy, little boy, and I haven't got a little boy, as you know, got a couple of grandsons now, go and live with Michael Jackson at Neverland.
I think.
Sleep in the same bed. Come on. Never trusted that lad. Oh, but yes, I went to see him in Liverpool.
Did you see him, did you?
Yeah, the A3 race course.
Well, the closest I got to see him, I remember a friend of mine went to see him in Cork, in Mill Street, and he was absolutely amazing. The closest I got to seeing Michael Jackson was in the Barbacoa in Puerto Rico, Gran Canaria. There's a guy by the name of Gustavo Jackson, who is one of the best in Europe for impersonating Michael Jackson. So there you go. That's
I used to impersonate Brad Pitt.
I'm sure I knew that already.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people say that.
I'd say you'd be able to impersonate what's the oh my god, the director. Oh my god, he directed The Irishman and Goodfellas.
No. Oh, I know who you mean. I know who you mean. The little Italian fella.
The little What's his name? Oh my God! Help us out, guys, in the chat. He did Goodfellas, The Casino,
Scorsese.
Scorsese, Martin Scorsese. Thank you. There you go.
Martin Scorsese.
That's very funny. Yeah, good, really good director too.
It's excellent.
Yeah,
I've woken from a nap. Didn't even realise. Join the club. Join the
That's it.
club. You don't know you're asleep. You just go, gone.
Yeah.
Wake up. Shocking. But anyway, it's been good. Listen, people, I've got a thing tomorrow morning. Yes, definitely a thing tomorrow morning. It's the film and TV review, and everything gets thrown in. It starts at 10:30. I also have a post-match tomorrow afternoon. It's a 3:00 kickoff tomorrow, isn't it?
As far as I know, I can't even remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what day of the week it is nowadays.
Well, if it's a 3:00 kickoff, which I'm sure it is, I'm having a podcast at 5:30. 5:30. Yeah, so that's
Callum is saying 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so another brilliant show, guys.
Absolutely, sure? IBR.
Are you sure?
I'll tell you, Frank is just, pulling it out of the bag. He should have a whole lot more subscribers than he actually does. So we need to help him out there. We need to get him to hit 1,000 by Christmas.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah, but it doesn't fluctuate. Like, it doesn't go above 774, I think. And it comes.
Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that this is aired also on Facebook, that is taken away from your subscribers or your possible subscribers?
I don't know. I really don't.
I think it might do.
I don't know. Yeah, Callum says, yeah. Well, yeah, Reggie says, have you heard of Pastor Bob Joyce? If you're an Elvis fan, check him out. And Callum, yep, 3 p.m, Liverpool, Brighton, Anfield. And I heard him out of our bog window that night, clear as day. I shut the window. Who was he talking about?
I think possibly about Michael Jackson.
Oh, right. A nap at 10:40 at night, Callum. Yeah, it's wrong to have naps at that time, says Yusuf. No, why did he come up with that?
Why? That's a bit random. Yeah. And Paul Konchesky. What did they bring that up for? Or Konchesky, not
Konchelski, his name wasn't it? Konchesky or Konchel? Wasn't the L there somewhere?
No, you're thinking of Andrei Konchesky.
Right.
Play for United.
Yeah. And Everton, didn't he play for Everton as well?
He played for Everton as well, yeah. I was a good old player too.
Yeah, that was in the cup, and he scored against it. We got beat 2-0, and he scored against it. Scored against it. Yeah, it's Konchelski. Konchelski was Everton.
Andrew Konchelski played for United and Everton, yeah.
And the Yusuf says, the film and TV review gonna turn into a football one. It turns into everything. It turns into
highly probable. Yeah.
Just mad, you know. But But I've got some good films lined up, actually. I don't do now good new ones. They're not worth the carrot, to be honest.
Well, now, you did say to me, and I did say to you, we were talking about James Bond, and I said, because we were talking about Daniel Craig, and I said to you, you need to watch 2 Daniel Craig Bond films. The first one is Casino Royale, and the second one is the last one, which is No Time to Die. And those 2 you need to watch.
Well,
The rest you don't need to watch because, well, you're not going to probably, but you can't watch the last one and not watch Casino Royale and not know what it's about because they're all linked up, if you know what I mean.
do you know what, though? You'd believe that I interviewed Ian Fleming's good friend during the war in intelligence. I interviewed that man,
Yeah.
and his grandson became James Bond.
Daniel Craig.
And I
Isn't that incredible?
never watched. I love Bonds as well. Look forward to all the Bonds coming out. Just didn't fancy him at all as Bond.
But a lot of people
I don't like his face.
No, but I'll tell you something, right? A lot of people didn't fancy him as Bond because they said he's the first blonde.
Blonde Bond. Yeah.
But he wasn't really, because Roger Moore, you could have said, was blonde. You know? So, I mean, I thought he was an excellent Bond. I really did. I mean, I was going to say Pierce Morgan. Jesus Christ, I don't like Pierce Morgan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
I like Pierce Brosnan. I liked him.
But some of his films at the end were a bit over the top, really over the top. The James Bond that Daniel Craig played brought a bit of reality into it. And it was I liked the films. Now, there was Quantum of Solace wasn't great.
Yusuf says, you were asking for an Italian who made a film. So I said Barini. You know, he mentioned Scorsese.
I do remember, yes.
Oh, don't say that. I bet the next Bond is a transgender.
No comment.
No, and
no comment.
Always. But there's a couple of good films.
That's not going to happen. It won't happen.
Well, if you want to go to bed tonight, and watch a little horror thing, you'll get this on YouTube. And I seen it when it first came out, and I thought, this is good. That's a good film, that. And just watch. You'll get it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. 30 Days of Night. That's 30 Days of Night. YouTube. 30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night. Thank you, Yusuf. That's a background. That's not my house, unfortunately. I'm not.
Is that a green screen?
That's a green screen. I'm not in the log cabin.
Well, as you know, I've got a green screen behind me.
There's another great film, and Steve Martin and Michael Caine are in it. And for the life of me, it's one of my favorite films, and I can't think of the name of the film. It's two con artists. What is it?
Are you talking Michael Caine and Steve Martin?
Yes.
Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Yes. Yes. I love that film.
I don't like Michael Caine, but I like him in that.
Oh God, it's such a good.
There's only about 3 films I like him in. I just
I
don't
love
like
that
them.
film.
That's one of them. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I
But
love
do you
that
know?
film.
Do you know what's better than that?
What?
The original film.
Because it was a remake, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
I'd never seen it.
the original one has David Niven in it.
Ah, right.
Sublime. Well better than the Michael Caine one.
I'm reading Red Jew's comment here. Frank and Shano, I love you guys, but shut up. I'm losing out on much needed sleep.
He's dead edgy. Is that what he's saying? But I'd be asking, they filmed that 30 Days of Night. Frank and Sean, I love you guys, but shut up. I'm losing out on my much needed beauty sleep.
Sorry about that, Red Jew.
And on that note, well, listen, try and join me tomorrow.
I'm not too sure what I'm doing tomorrow, Frank, but I'll try and hop on at some stage. I identify myself as a unicorn in 2024.
And the next band will identify as a kitten. I think you will right there, Jay. What was the Michael Caine film where he plays a pensioner vigilante? Oh, Harry. Something
Was it
Harry.
Harry?
Yeah, Harry. Harry. I just didn't like Michael. I don't like him. So, but he was great in Zulu, great in Get Carter.
Get Carter, yeah.
He's great in them too. And I'll tell you another one he was great in. And he was dead funny.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who he played alongside, I think one of the greatest actors anyway, was, God blimey, his name's gone. Just had him there. It's coming down here to come out. Fucking hell. Right, anyway, it's Without a Clue.
Without a Clue?
Without a Clue. And it's about Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Okay.
Jesus, what's his fucking name? His name's gone from me who plays Watson. Great, massive actor.
Is it a recent one?
Done a few years ago. It's dead funny.
It's not Will Ferrell and J.C. Riley, is it?
No. It's a British film, actually. It's actually British. And Michael Caine plays an actor, but he's a drunken actor.
Okay.
And Watson goes over to him, obviously he asks him to play. People think that what the old thing is, it's a great scenario.
Mm.
People think that he's real. What Holmes is real.
Okay.
Holmes is real. And so it's like Watson, who's writing all the books. Obviously it's the other fella. So yeah, he says to this actor, will he play the part? You don't see him saying this, but you know as the story goes on.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, fucking hell, what's his name? I can't think of what. He's one of the best actors.
Is he American?
No, he's British.
British.
He's British. He's been in loads.
Is he alive?
I'll tell you what, did you ever watch The Sopranos? Yeah, he's alive. Did you ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah, bits and bobs of it, yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, did you ever watch, there was a film with Ray Winston. And Ray Winston's a bit of a gangster, you know, and he goes to live in Spain.
Yes, a beast or something.
The Beast.
The Beast.
The Beast.
The
Well,
guy that played Gandhi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ben Kingsley.
That's him. That's him. You want to see him playing Watson?
Ben Kingsley. Yes.
Without a clue.
He's a great actor, he is.
Oh, he's Oscar winner.
Mm.
You want to see him playing Watson?
Christian Bale. IBR, no.
You know, with the other fella. Honestly, God, he's so funny. But he's brilliant in this, Kane. It's funny. He's really funny. But
yeah,
so
he's really good.
But so is as the straight man, but he's so funny. Is Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley's one of the great actors, and I'll tell you for why. You look at him playing little Bendy Gandhi, right? You see him playing Gandhi.
Yeah.
Then move forward. And he plays this, I'm just saying, like this thing called Without a Clue, you know, Watson. And a comedy. See what I mean? The diversity of his acting is incredible. It really is incredible. Great actor. He
was in one of the Iron Man movies as well.
Yeah.
A really funny character in that.
Yeah, where he's an actor and he's playing this.
An actor playing the villain. Yeah.
Wasn't that funny? He said, "I'll get 2 weeks off." He said, "On a yacht."
Yeah, yeah.
And all the CIA running with guns. He said, "I'm only an actor."
I'm only an actor.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think. He played in a film about Lucky Luciano. Bugsy Siegel.
That one.
Bugsy Siegel he played in, right? And Warren Beatty played Bugsy. And he played Meyer Lansky. He played Meyer Lansky, Ben Kingsley. Very sinister. Great he was.
Yeah.
Played Meyer Lansky. Bugsy Siegel. Good film, that. But you can't get films like that anymore.
Oh, not at all. But you need to watch those 2 films that I recommended to you, Frank, and then come back to me and tell me what you think of them.
I won't watch anything if Dame Judy gets killed.
I'm
only kidding.
So yeah, so the 2 films I recommended.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
And the last one was Skyfall.
No Time to Die. Now, Casino Royale, she's in.
Yeah.
Dame Judi Dench. She's not in No Time to Die. Ralph Fiennes is in that.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I watched. With Dame Judy and her 2 daughters. And it was done. A great actor, great stalwart actor. You know that I love Shakespeare, don't you?
Yeah. And she's great at Shakespeare as well.
Well, I watched, she played Tatiana, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Watched that last night. Proper film. Yeah,
you know. She's brilliant.
Not on the stage. Diana Rigg was it. There was loads in it. You know, great actors.
Yeah, no, she is, and I mean, she was amazing in the Bond film in uh, what was the film? Golden Eye.
Golden Eye, yeah. That
Oh,
was a
she was
great film. That.
excellent in that film.
Yeah.
Excellent in that film. But
I love, I love, I love James. I love the old lady Rat Pack. You know what, Maggie
yeah,
Smith. Well, fantastic.
Lady in the Van. That's another good film. I think she was in it. Maggie Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
She just
You know
passed
who's one of
away
my
there
favourite,
recently.
Irish actors is?
Sorry.
One of my favourite Irish actors. Well, there's a few of them. You know, the likes of Gabriel Byrne and Neeson. But I tell you, Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson's amazing.
Did you ever watch a film called Lake Placid?
Yes. Yes.
He steals everything in that.
And you know what? He's so funny. There's a kind of a documentary that was on Irish TV called The Treaty, and it was about Michael Collins, and he played Michael Collins.
Yeah,
and that was my first
taste of Michael Collins.
Well, not my first taste of Michael Collins. It was
on film. I meant
on film, absolutely, yeah. And it kind of went more into the treaty than the actual film of Michael Collins. But Brendan Gleeson played Michael Collins, and I think Brendan Gleeson was also in the Michael Collins film with Liam Neeson. So but the treaty, really interesting. So definitely would advise you to watch it. You won't really.
I like Neeson. I like Neeson. Love Gleeson. Gleeson and Neeson. But that Lake Placid, he's fantastic in it. It's Brendan Gleeson.
The one thing I wasn't too sure was, I don't know whether you watched it, In Bruges.
Oh, Colin Farrell and him.
And Colin Farrell.
Fantastic.
I was I was totally freaked out by it.
And that's why, the likes of Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah. Ralph Fiennes was brilliant in it.
What an actor he is.
He was brilliant in it. He was amazing in it. The funny thing about him in that film was you knew it was Ralph Fiennes, but he even changed his face.
Yeah.
Without doing any makeup or anything.
And his own,
even the way he had his teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was incredible. And he was hilarious. Great. I mean, he was really funny.
Brilliant. When he does all these dramatic parts.
Sorry?
He does all these dramatic parts. Does Ralph Fiennes. And when I seen him in that, I went, what a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
They must have had some laughs on that set. Must have.
Oh, Jesus.
Must have had some laughs. And then I seen him in another one. And it's one of the funniest films you're ever likely to see. And I hope you've seen it. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I saw bits and bobs of it. I didn't actually see it fully, but I am actually wanting to see it. Yeah. He looks brilliant in that as well.
Oh.
He was in the new Bond films with Daniel Craig. And he was brilliant in them too.
Yeah.
No,
I think he's absolutely one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
so,
I really.
Look, I'm going to finish.
I know we're talking about film now, and this was meant to be current affairs.
At least we got away from a nuclear blast, didn't we? Could have been sitting there and outside a big mushroom. It could have been going up.
And now we're fishing in Lake Placid.
And Sylvia Sims about the big, that big harpoon thing.
Where do you put the worm on it?
Put the worm here. She went like that, just the worm go here. But you want to see the look on Sid James. He just looks. Do you know Dick Emery? Have you seen it, Dick Emery?
Yeah.
And you want to see the look on him, and he just looks at Sid James, and they both look at her, But it's like a Laurel and Hardy type thing, where Laurel Hardy just looked at the camera.
That's all they needed to do.
I could tell you a great story about Hardy.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you now, though.
Tell me another day.
Yeah, it's a good historical thing, and I'll guarantee you will go, wow. Oliver Hardy.
Well, all of the stories you've told me to date have had me going, oh. So
honestly, when I've told people, when I used to have coach tours and things like that, they've gone, God, can't believe it. When I've told
that story about Ian Fleming's best mate was incredible.
It is, yeah.
Incredible.
And, so it's like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle when he wrote about Sherlock, and he based it on this fella. And when you read the description of this man, it's Basil Rathbone. Jesus. More hero Basil Rathbone, more hero. And, so you've got great people. Who fit the description. And I tell you, who fitted James Bond perfectly was Roger Moore.
I love Roger Moore.
This fella, who he interviewed, he said he was immaculate. He was tall. He was handsome. Could speak several languages perfectly. No accent at all.
Yeah, no, I know my Bond films, and I mean, one of the films that stick out for me, Roger Moore, Jane Seymour, Live and Let Die, amazing film. I absolutely love that film. And then the next film, Timothy Dalton, License to Kill, incredible film. And then after that, Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was a very good film.
Oh, but the funny thing was he's gone around a turn in a tank. Not a bother on him. The way he's just swinging into a turn, not a bother on him. But fantastic films.
GoldenEye, I loved Halle Berry.
She wasn't in GoldenEye. She was in.
She was.
Halle Berry was in.
No, he saved it, didn't he? In the big ice thing.
Yeah, that was that wasn't GoldenEye. That was the last film. That was the last. That was the last Pierce Brosnan Bond film. Yeah. GoldenEye was the first one, where he was in this Russian kind of this is where he
Oh
with
yeah,
Sean Penn,
brilliant. Yeah, he was in North Korea.
and he was in North
Korea.
Korea.
You always get on about Russia and North Korea.
North Korea was the second one where
Yeah.
he was a hostage in North Korea, and they swapped him. That was the second one. Pierce, the GoldenEye was he was in some sort of Russian nuclear thing, and
Oh, it was brilliant. That really goes down the.
he was on a satellite. Sean Bean was 005 or 006.
Yeah.
And he thought 006 was killed years ago, and he comes back as a villain.
Sure, yeah.
Sean Bean. Yeah.
I did some reconnaissance for him, you know.
He's an amazing actor as well. Absolutely amazing actor. Always gets killed in films.
I did some reconnaissance for a film he was doing, you know.
Yeah.
He was playing a priest, yeah. He said, find a church for us. Okay.
No.
So I found a church, you know, empty church. And they were made up.
That's brilliant.
I had lunch with him, actually.
What's he like?
Lovely. But speaks like that, you know.
Speaks like Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah, proper Yorkshire, you know.
Proper Yorkshire.
Mainland. Mainland.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. I love Sean Bean.
Yeah, he's a very good actor as well. Yeah, there's some reconnaissance for him, which is good. Listen, I have to finish. My uncle Frankie always used to say to me, he said, well, I'll have to go now. He said, I have to be up early tomorrow afternoon. And I always wondered, up early tomorrow afternoon, yeah.
You need to get a proper night's rest. That's what you need.
It's shocking, you know, the sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation, and that's what it's all about.
I know what it's like, Frank. I remember when I was 17, I had something similar, and I was burning the candles at both ends. I was in college, and I actually developed epilepsy as a result of it, and completely turned my life upside down for years. And so you have, I mean, you have to in some way, somehow get some way of trying to sleep, because like I will not put myself in a situation ever again like that, you know, because it's frightening, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I was at uni and that, and even though someone said, have you ever taken drugs? I said no. I did. I took 2 tablets. Speed.
You were saying that.
What did I tell you on a Christmas Eve?
Yeah, you were saying that you were awake for about 4 days.
4 days.
Like that.
And you know, you're trying to sleep. It's impossible, you know, to sleep. You couldn't even close your eyes.
That's horrible.
Couldn't close your eyes. So I never ever taken any drugs after that.
Yeah.
After that episode, Christmas Eve. Oh, shocking. IBR. It's not 12 yet. You know what I said? We'll have to finish. It's not 12. We'll finish now. But anyway, Sean, thank you, mate.
Thank you, Frank. It's great. It's great being on and great having a chat. And as always, it's always very interesting to talk to you and even the chat.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can't for the life of me understand why you're under 800 subscribers, or even under 1,000 subscribers. So I'm hoping that we can all push Frank's channel over 1,000 by Christmas, and celebrate in good fashion after hitting the 1K for Frank.
Thank you. And would be good, like, you know, if we could get that many.
Absolutely.
But, you know, it's just one of those things that happens to some few of us. But anyway, I'm going to try and get some sleep anyway, and I've got to be up early for the TV show.
If I'm awake, I'll tune into it, Frank.
I think we've done it, haven't we? No, there's a few
Uh-huh.
films anyway I want to talk about, which would be good.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure everyone watches the films I recommend. Sure, these are
I'll watch them if you watch the two I recommend to you.
absolutely. That's why I said watch Knowing, because we were talking about
Knowing, yeah.
Catastrophes. And
I might actually watch that tonight after this. I might actually put it on.
That'll be made up if you did, because it's only what's going on today with all these, bombs. Bombs have been going off for fucking years, from cannonballs, and they're hitting the earth.
Yeah.
But with all the bombs and everything else going off, and I'm talking from the First World War onwards, if you know what I mean, proper bombs, right up to atomic tests, right up to hydrogen tests, right up to nuclear tests, because they still do it. And you're talking about hitting the land and also undersea.
Yeah, there's no way that doesn't affect the
of course,
environment.
It affects the core of the earth. I've seen a film called The Core once, and it was very good, and good special effects as well.
That's where they get the drill, and they drill down to the core. Is that it?
No.
Oh no,
I'm thinking Aaron, what's his name? Aaron Eckhart, I think that's his name. And it starts off where you see a fella with a secretary and a couple of other people behind him, and they're going into a meeting for like a big business meeting, a takeover or whatever. You see them. You see people in Trafalgar Square, with the pigeons and things like that. And all of a sudden, this fella does his presentation. He's standing there, young man, coming up with all this spiel about, this takeover. And the next, he just goes, boom. And then all of a sudden, you see Trafalgar Square with the birds and, and people walking about, and cars running into buses and buses running into buildings. And it's the core. Good actors in it as well. And the core is turned. And it's all because of what I've just mentioned about, these things going on and whatever. And it's all man-made anyway. Everything that's going on, all these earthquakes, all these tsunamis, the tsunamis, we used to call them tidal waves, didn't we? Until tsunami came about. And it's all because of that. But the core, it's a very good film. But I must
check out that. I'll watch Knowing tonight anyway, and I'll let you know what I think.
And let me know about it, you think. It's really good. And don't forget, it's all about what's happening on the end until you see the end of it and you go, what Frank's on about. All right, then.
All right, Frank, and all right, chat. Thanks, to you soon.
Thanks, yeah, for keeping Sean and myself going. All great comments. I think Armada has left the building. Yeah, definitely. And all these lads. Why are they going on about Gareth Bale?
Because someone said Christian Bale, and then Eminem X said Gareth Bale.
Have you ever? There's a good actor called Bailout. Very good, he is.
Bailout. I don't think I've watched that. But I'll watch the Knowing tonight anyway, and I'll let you know what I think of it.
I was only joking about Bailout,
Oh, were you? All right.
Yeah. Oh, sure. You know, you're going on about Christian, but it's like, do you ever remember Walter Pigeon and George Segal? And you know these names, all these bad bird names. Walter Pigeon and George Segal. Anyway, thanks, chats. Thanks, Sean. Oh, brilliant, mate.
No problem, Frank. Pleasure as always.
If I don't see it over the weekend, see you with George and Jeff on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Or if you're not doing nothing on tomorrow night, not tomorrow night around 5:30, the post-match.
Yeah. I'll see how I'm fixed.
Okay.
All right, Frank. All right, chat. Thank you for having me on.
Pleasure.
Talk to you soon.
Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow. Ci vediamo. A domani. As the Italians say. Ciao belli.